For day 15 notes, we have to write the inequality of the graph given to us. And so first thing we need to do is find our slope, which is what we've done in day 14. So we're going to go ahead and rise 1, 2, 3, and run 2. And that would give me 3 halves, which cannot reduce. So I'll just leave it 3 halves. My b, or my y-intercept, is where is the point on the y-axis, which is right here. And that's -3. And then you see that I have a dashed line. So if it's a dashed line, it has to be one of these two symbols, either less than or greater than. It can't have the equal to part. So I can go ahead and scribble these out. We know it's not going to be one of those. If I look to see my shading, here is where I began. My shading is down, okay, below my graph, which is less. So that's this one here. So I can say that my inequality would be y. Usually I write equals, but I'm going to use less than mx, so 3 halves x, plus b, and b is -3, so I put -3. Okay, for part b, same idea. We need to find that slope first. So from here to here, I have to fall. So 1, 2, 3. So I went down 3, and I went right 1. So that's -3 over 1, which just equals -3. Then b, where does it cross the y-axis? So I see here's the y. Here's my line. It meets right here. And that number is 4. Because this is 0, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a solid line, so I don't need these symbols because these imply dashed. Okay. If I look to see my shading, here is where I began. And I am above my line, which is greater. Okay, so for greater, we're going to use this here, and we're going to have y is greater than or equal to -3x plus 4. For letter C, we're still going to find our slope. So we have to go down 2, right 2, and -2 over 2 equals a -1. For B, your y-axis intersects this line right here. And that would be -5. It's a dashed line. So dash means we don't need these. And then my shading is above my line, which is greater. So I would have y is greater than -1x minus 5. Letter D, we again need to fall and run. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to run to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, and I get -5/4. I see that my line crosses the y at 3. So another way you could work this out is like, you know that you're going to have y first. We're going to leave a blank and put -5/4 x plus 3. My shading is above. Okay, it's going up, which is greater. And I have a solid line, so I can get rid of these. Okay, so it's greater. It has to be that one. Okay, now for the last two, these are just like your horizontal vertical lines with shading. So for that first one, I want to see where does the line cross the x-axis. So here's x-axis. It crosses at -3. So I'm going to say x something at -3. It's dashed, so I know I got to get rid of these. And we can see that my shading is going to the right. So I'm going to actually use that same symbol for this one. It's a little bit different just because it's not up or down. It's left or right this time. For F, we're going to go with a dashed line here. So we can get rid of these. I see that the line crosses the y-axis at -2. The shading is above or up, which is greater. And that's it for day 15.